Hi, my name is Jeff Hewitt, General Manager here at Brian Cullen Motors, and today we are talking about Escalade IQ Sport 2 with the executive second row seating. So if you're in the market for a brand new, used, electric, diesel, gas, high-performance sports car, any of those options down here at 386 Ontario Street, St. Catharines, Brian Cullen Motors. Make sure you say you saw us on YouTube. Click on the link below for your special YouTube incentives. Okay, so here we have something unique. Here we have the incredible Escalade IQ Sport 2 in the deep space metallic with the Harbor Blue back in black interior. I said back in black, it's not back in black. This is not an AC/DC video, it's black in black. So let's make sure we get that clear. But this is a Sport 2. We're going to talk about some of the differences from Sport 1. We had our Sport 1 video earlier. Make sure you look that up. We'll look at what's in Sport 2, and we're going to take a look at some of my favorite features of this vehicle. And of course, we have to start up front here with the frunk. Frunk here, we know about Costco. We know about backing into parking spots. This is where the frunk comes in handy. You gotta love this storage space that we have up front here. You even have a 110 outlet that you can run some accessories. You've got some tie downs if you want stuff to not move around, but realistically, this is so convenient. You can open it with the remote. There's a secret button down here underneath the grille. There's also a button inside the vehicle. So there's many, many ways you can get into the frunk. This is such an amazing feature in this vehicle. It's nicely finished inside, and of course, it's weather sealed. Everything stays nice, safe, and dry. Other than that, we have, of course, the signature front lighting that you see on all Cadillac Escalade IQs. This is just a beautifully sculpted vehicle from the front all the way back. And you'll notice that we did do some special touches to finish this vehicle. This does have the Onyx package, which means it gets these absolutely spectacular 24-inch wheels. And we did two-tone the roof. So we got the black roof, got the After Midnight wheels, right? You notice the black mirror caps, and that in combination with the exterior finish of this in the midnight metallic, it's gorgeous. So one of the biggest differences between Sport 1 and Sport 2 are the power assisted doors. Now this is really kind of cool because, you know, if you walk up and just open the door, now your first thought is, what if this car was parked closer? Well, the good news is there's actually radars built into these doors. So when the door opens up, it's not going to run into whatever it is. And so let's pretend I'm an obstacle for this door and I hit the open and it doesn't hit me because it has sensed that there's something here, basically a dumb stump, right? And they don't want to damage the door. And so that prevents the door from actually running into anything. But if the way is free and clear, it can open up full and wide. And you can also actually set limits inside in the command center to how wide the doors open. When we get inside the vehicle, I'm going to show you some really cool features about command center and what you can do with these doors. And of course, soft closes on its own. Come around the back and let's take a look in the rear hatch. So in the rear here, of course, you've got great cargo space. Even with the third row folded up, you do have storage underneath here, tie downs once again, and you have controls for the left and right rear seats. They do fold down independently. And this, realistically, if you're gonna have an Escalade IQ with the executive second row, this is pretty much how you're gonna live. And there's a reason for that. When we get in the second row, I'll show you, but you have massive cargo space, so no problem getting 4 sets of golf clubs, and we haven't even used the frunk. Lots of cargo space, lots of room. If you do need more, this is also coming in, it's just about out now. It's gonna come in the Escalade IQL, which is well, that much longer, but it squares off this back to give you a little more cargo space. Look for video for that down the road. And of course, this being an Escalade IQ Sport 2, comes standard with the smart towing package. It comes standard with a 19.2 kilowatt charging module, which helps you with your fast charge. And oh, by the way, your charging port is right here at the back corner of the vehicle. Now, this is the right place to have this on this size of vehicle. First of all, you're gonna back into your parking spot because it's probably a little tight getting out. So here you have your charge port. It's back in the back corner where it is convenient for you. And don't forget, backing in is not that hard because this has some great features. It has features like surround vision, and oh, by the way, it does have the 4-wheel steer. Now, if you didn't see our Sport 1 video with the 4-wheel steer, make sure you look it up. Show you how these rear wheels move in and out as you need to make it all happen. So you open and close this door right here. Once again, you can also can have this door open and close from the command center inside the vehicle. Let's get in the driver's seat and take a look at what's inside. So if you saw the Sport One video, you already know the things that are my favorites inside here. Love the dial, love the multi-screen layout, all excellent stuff. But where it gets a little different is with this command center. And so in the command center right now is set up to control the HVAC, but you've got a row of buttons across the bottom here. You can adjust your seat, you can control your seat massage, all those sorts of things. But one of the coolest things is you actually control the doors. So from here, you can actually open and close the doors on the vehicle. And so this is where it gets really kind of cool, because you can have it so that you roll up and you're picking up your child or you're picking up your spouse or whatever it is. They don't even have to open the door. I can just swipe my finger and open that door. I can make it stop if I want to. I can set limitations, but the door is open. Whomever it is gets in. I can swipe my finger again and the door closes. Really slick, really easy. Same thing with the charge port, works on all 4 doors. So I don't even have to touch the door handle. That's all you have to do really to open the door is to touch the door handle, but I can swipe it open, make it happen. Don't forget the radars are there to protect the door from dinging anything. So I don't have to actually even touch the door anymore. Amazing. So other than that, what you're seeing here, this is this wonderful new Harbor Blue interior. Let's be honest, there's only a couple colors this is going to work with. Obviously, what we have on the outside works with this inside, but this is a spectacular interior. Once again, AKG sound system, massive single pane glass roof, beautiful vehicle inside. But let's get to what we're really here to talk about, which is the executive second row. I guess I'll just open the door normally. Okay, so back here in the executive second row, you should be able to see already that this is completely different than anything you're used to seeing in the back of a full-size SUV. So first of all, my door is open, right? So I can, of course, open and close my door. And if I had done it earlier on, it was automatically there for me, but I'll hit close. There goes my door closing. I could also just give it a slight pull. It's very intuitive. It'll do it automatically. But this is all controlled from the command center. So basically back here, you get everything that you get up front and then maybe a little bit extra, because you don't have to drive. You don't have to do that for you. You have these incredible entertainment screens as well. They are adjustable. You can move them up and down to suit your seating position. And speaking of seating positions, you can control that too. So you've got the screens here, you've got your command center here, and it's intuitive. It's just automatically switched back to be the HVAC controls, because that's what most people are going to normally have going on here. They want to control their heated seats. They want to control, the temperature, how much air is blowing on them, all controlled from the screen here. Across the bottom, you have your row of buttons. And of course, if I want to control my seat, I can control the massage or the position from here. And I've got adjustments I can make. So for example, from here, I can just choose to move it forward or back. I can move up or down, I can recline, pretty intuitive. So if I go to adjustments and I want to adjust this area and I want to move my lumbar in or move it out, no problem. Position, I'm going to move it in or move it out, right? No problem. And this is for both driver and passenger. You get to pick. You also have your charging ports here. Once again, 2 inductive charging ports for phones. Realistically, the passenger in the rear seat now, they're not second-class citizens. This is where first class sits, is in the rear with your screens. Whether you're doing work, watching videos, you can stream anything you need to, because you can download the apps directly to the command center. Furthermore, you do have HDMI connections. If you want to plug in a game or console or whatever it is that you want to do, you can run it off of these screens. Absolutely spectacular. The screens can run the same things. They can run independently. You have choices. And by the way, it is controlled ultimately up front. So there are parental controls on what happens on these screens. You do keep in full control in the passenger. I'm gonna say the passenger front side, passenger right side, where they can control what the kids are looking at. But realistically, this is amazing. Now, let's be honest, this comes with some limitations. The upside of this is the fact that you've got all this space and it is luxurious. Look at how much space I've got here. But if I hop out and I want to get into the third row, this is where the challenge begins. So to get into the third row, we have some choices. If you're probably under the age of 8, you might want to just scramble over the top in the middle and run to the back. But otherwise, there's a button here, basically on the C-pillar, and this will move the seat forward. And you see it'll also move the seat back forward. And this will help you get access to the rear. There are manual loops to pull, but the problem is this is about as far as it goes. Now I am about 6 foot tall. I am 57 years old. I'm not going to demonstrate getting into the back here for you, okay? That's just the truth of it. It's for kids to do. Realistically, with the executive second row seating, this is probably not going to be something that you're going to have if you're using the third row on a regular basis. The third row is sort of rare use, emergency, great. But if you're planning on putting kids back there all the time, I recommend the standard seating package that you saw in the Sport 1 video. That is also available in Sport 2 trim. Go back, take a look. I'm happy to get back in the third row there. It actually works really, really well. But Sport 2, executive second row, if you're looking for luxury opulence, let's call it opulence in the second row, this is it. You get a full console, charging, cup holders, HVAC controls, entertainment. What more could you ask for? All with the AKG surround system. So make sure you check out our Sport 1 video with the standard seating package for comparison, or you can just come on down here to 386 Ontario Street in St. Catharines. We'll put these two vehicles side by side so you can compare and decide which one's the right one for you. We're at 386 Ontario Street, St. Catharines. Be sure to like and subscribe. Watch the other video. You'll get the full picture. Hi, my name is Jeff Hewitt, General Manager here at Bryan Cullen Motors, 386 Ontario Street in St. Catharines, Ontario. And today we're talking about Escalade IQ. So if you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, come down and see us here at Bryan Cullen Motors, 386 Ontario Street in St. Catharines, Ontario. And don't forget to mention that you saw us on YouTube for your special YouTube-only incentive. Starting with the front, now this is distinctly Cadillac. With our Cadillac badges, the way that it greets you and lights up when you arrive, this is incredible. The way it's sculpted, all the artistry of the lighting in the front here, purely Cadillac, unmistakable going down the road. If you drive a full-size SUV and you park back into your parking spot at Costco, it makes it very difficult to load. But not with this one. As you're walking up, you get to open the frunk, load all your Costco items in it. You got a choice. You can do it with the remote or the hidden button under here on the bumper. Close it up and go ahead and get inside your vehicle. Let's come around the side and I'll show you some more. The side profile of the Escalade IQ, there's some unmistakable features. First of all, the absolutely massive 24-inch wheels are standard. This here is the Sport 1 model with the Onyx package, which gives you these wonderful dark wheels offset against the black paint. Just absolutely beautifully sculpted all the way down the sides, including the integrated side steps. You'll notice this vehicle is crouched down very low right now. When we get around the other side, I'll show you why. But in the meantime, let's go to the back. Here we are at the back of the IQ. Once again, all beautifully detailed and sculpted. The Onyx package, the tone-on-tone badging. Your rear camera mirror is up at the top here. Once again, you can open the rear compartment a few different ways. You've got the kick underneath. You've got the emblem here that you can just push, or you could also do it with the remote. Once again, being an SUV, especially a big SUV, height is important. And actually the deck height for loading in your groceries, if you happen to pull in instead of backing out the Costco, it isn't that bad. Back here you have split rear benches. Of course, you can raise or lower them using the power switches on the side here. This gives you a nice big flat floor if you happen to be bringing a lot home. Closing, once again, you've got a button there, use the remote, whatever you need, easy to operate, ultra convenient. Let's go to the side here and take a look at what's going on. This is where your charge port is. This is how you're going to plug it in. Remember, with 740 kilometers of range on a full charge, your maybe's charging it once a week at home. Easy to do, level 2 and level 3 charging. Push the button, door closes. You can also operate this door from inside the vehicle. You actually have multiple seat choices on an IQ. This is the standard rear seating. We typically see in this type of SUV where it allows you some easy access into the third row. If you prefer though, there is an executive seating option which gives you rear bucket seats that are much like the front, a full center console, give that passenger all that luxury you're looking for. Of course, with the available rear screens, media centers, all the features you could possibly ask for in a full-size SUV, all available on IQ. Why don't we get inside and take a look what's going on with this pillar-to-pillar screen, something like you've never seen in anything else. Inside IQ, it's hard to not talk about this amazing display that literally goes from pillar to pillar. Basically comes in 3 sections. Your sort of typical center section here, or left-hand section here for the driver. Your usual sort of information. Multi-purpose in the middle can give you maps, radio controls, settings of your vehicle. The usual choices that you're going to have to make. Down here for the lower console, you also have a secondary screen which gives you things like your HVAC controls and your controls over the various features, opening and closing doors, locks, things like that. I'm very intuitive down here. I'll show you a little more in a minute. And then the passenger actually gets their own screen. This screen over here, the passenger can be a true co-pilot. Get all the data on the vehicle, how much battery range, speed, time to distance, all those things are there. Plus, they can actually go and run media on it that only they can see. If you want to run this YouTube video in your IQ, you can, right? The passenger can see it, the passenger can hear it, and an amazing technology, the screen changes so the driver can't see it. So it's unique just to the passenger, and the passenger gets their own screen. In this center console here, lots going on. A couple of my favorite features, something that you don't see very often. Yes, this is an inductive phone charger. Your phone just slips right in here. Very thoughtful. They've even got cooling vents to help you keep your phone cool while it charges. But wait, there's 2. There's one here for the passenger as well. So you can have 2 phone chargings going on all at the same time. No issue whatsoever. The center wheel knob here, this is actually your sort of standard remote control, and it's amazing. Now this seat is set up for me to sit in it. I was driving this vehicle, so I know all about it. And see how that wheel just naturally sort of falls to your hand, and if you come and take a look at an IQ, you really have to experience this because they spent time engineering this wheel to feel right. It's got a texture to it, it's metal. It feels good in your hand, and this actually allows you to navigate all your screens without having to lean forward and touch everything. So you get to make your choices here with the wheel. You also have 4 switches, one for the navigation, radio, the home screen, and also a return button. And if you press those buttons, you get the ever so slightest haptic response. You feel a little vibration, much like you do with your phone, that tells you that you've made a selection and something is happening. Steering wheel controls, of course, heated steering wheel. This is your Super Cruise. That's hands-free driving, lights up green, has a camera here to make sure that you're paying attention to the road still. Over here, your radio controls, phone controls, everything you can possibly imagine. Heads-up display. Once again, you have a choice of how much data you're showing there. This is a true luxury full-size SUV. Oh, and I almost forgot. Full panoramic, fixed glass sunroof with a shade. Incredible. Drivers, passengers, this is luxury. This is Cadillac. So let's check out what it's like to sit in the back. So here I am in the back. Now you have to remember, I'm 6 foot, and I'm now sitting behind myself. Front seat was set up for me to drive, well, because I was driving it. And look at the space I've got here. And this is with the standard seating package. This isn't executive seating or anything like that. This is the standard seating package available in IQ. You have available rear media for the kids if you want it. That's also comes in Sport 2 package. Plus you have your own control screen here for your rear HVAC controls. Very intuitive. This person gets a control and that person gets a control, both sides, or it can all be synced to the front controls. Panoramic view of the sky, absolutely incredible. Great view of the road. You can sit back here for hours. Let's hop out. I want to show you how this vehicle greets you. So one of the coolest things about driving an Escalade IQ is that when you come walking up to the vehicle, it actually greets you. So I've unlocked it there, and now it starts the animation. No mistaking what you're walking up to. This is a Cadillac IQ, and it is beautiful. So this is a large vehicle. There's no doubt about it. I've been told it's a tank. I've been told it's huge. It's all these things. It is a full-size Escalade IQ, but it has a secret weapon in the parking lot, and that is 4-wheel steer. Yes, these rear tires turn in and out depending on what you're trying to do in the parking lot. It is unbelievable. I'm just going to hop in and turn the wheel so you can see what this does. And what this does is that decreases the radius dramatically. This is like parking a small SUV in a parking lot because it just turns, does it all for you depending on how far you're turning the front wheels. You can't beat this feature. So thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Brian Cullen Motors, 386 Ontario Street in St. Catharines, Ontario.